Hello friends, we have a very special book today. It's called the Ladybird Book of Things to Make. Let's have a look at it together. This book was printed by Ladybird Books Limited in 1963 and this edition in 1976. Ladybird Books Limited were printed by Wills and Hepworth in Loughborough. Things to make. A seashell vase. Would you like to make a vase for Mummy? The things you will need: an old syrup tin, some seashells, poster paints, clear varnish, putty, and a paintbrush. Place these on some sheets of old newspaper. What you have to do, there are 4 things. Number 1, paint the seashells and leave them to dry. Number 2, cover the sides of the tin evenly with putty. Push the seashells into the putty, there's number 3. And number 4, when the putty is dry, you can brush over the seashells and the putty with some clear varnish. Mummy is sure to like this pretty vase. Making a toy snake. Your younger brother or sister will enjoy pulling this along the ground. The things you will need: a long piece of string, 10 empty cotton reels, 2 corks, green, yellow and black paint or lacquer, an old rubber ball, and a paintbrush. Place these on some sheets of old newspaper. What you have to do, and here we're given a list of 6 things to do. Number 1, paint the reels and the ball green with yellow spots. Number 2, ask Mummy or Daddy or your teacher to make holes for the string through the ball and corks. Number 3, paint the corks black. Number 4, paint 2 eyes on the ball, which is the snake's head. Number 5, tie a knot at the end of the string and thread the other end through one of the corks. Thread the reels onto the string, then the ball, and then the other cork. What can we make on this page? We can make a picture for your room. Have you got a picture to frame? The things that you will need: a pretty picture, a round cheese spread box, glue, poster paint and a brush, a piece of ribbon, and some scissors. Place these on some sheets of old newspaper. What you have to do to make a picture for your room, there are 5 things that we'll go through together. Number 1, cut a large circle out of the box lid, leaving a narrow edging. Number 2, paint the outside of both halves of the box. Number 3, stick the picture inside the bottom of the box. Number 4, glue the lid onto the box. Number 5, make a bow with a ribbon and stick it on the back of the box, making sure that you have the picture the right way up. And now you can hang your picture on the wall. Making a whip and top. This will be fun to play with. The things you will need. And I can see 5 things on that list. You're going to need an empty cotton reel, a round stick about 15 inches long. This is called a dowel rod. And then another round stick about 2.5 inches long. This must be the right thickness to fit through the hole in the cotton reel. And it says here a wooden meat skewer will often fit. Then we need a paint and a brush. And in the picture it looks like they've used the colour red to paint things, but you could choose whatever colour you want. So a paint and a brush, a penknife and some strong string. Place these on some sheets of old newspaper. And what do we have to do? It gives us 3 instructions. Number 1, sharpen one end of the 2.5-inch rod. That's the little one. Number 2, push this through the reel so that the point sticks well out at the bottom. The rod must be a tight fit. This is your spinning top, and you can paint it any colour you like. Number 3, make a small groove near the end of the longer stick. Tie the string tightly in this groove. This is your whip. See how long you can keep your top spinning. Aha, the children in the shoe. This would make a nice present for a little girl. The things you will need. And it lists 4 things. An old shoe. Ask Mummy which shoe you may have. Coloured paints or lacquer and a brush. Some tiny dolls. Some scraps of old material and piece of old ribbon. Place these on some sheets of old newspaper. What do you have to do? 6 things on this little list of tasks. Number 1, scrub the shoe and dry it well. Number 2, paint it yellow. Number 3, paint a window at the toe and another one at the heel. Number 4, paint flowers and grass along the bottom, so around the edge of the shoe. Number 5, if the shoe has lace holes, you could thread ribbon through them. Number 6, make some skirts for your dolls using the ribbon for shoulder straps. And there you have it, a painted shoe and the children who live in the shoe. What are we going to make on these pages? Aha! A decorated plate. If you take care with this, it will look nice in your living room. The things you will need to make a decorated plate. An old white dinner plate, some glue, a few old magazines, enamel or oil paint in a nice bright colour, a brush and some scissors, and a small piece of sponge. Place these on some sheets of old newspaper. Stand the paint pot on an old tray if you can. What do we have to do? It gives us a list of 6 things that we need to do to make the decorated plate. Number 1, we cut pictures of objects from the magazines, such as a jug or vase, some flowers, a bunch of grapes, or other fruits. Arrange some of these to form a nice picture in the middle of your plate. Stick them in position carefully. Paint the plate all around the picture, stopping 1/2 inch from the edges of the picture. Dab around the edge of the paint with a piece of sponge so that it blurs the edge. Allow the paint to dry well. You can then varnish your plate if you wish. And there you have a finished decorated plate. You can stand your plate on a shelf or hang it on a wall. On these pages, we're going to make a colourful whir. You can have great fun with this toy. The things you will need: a piece of cardboard about 5 inches long and 2 inches wide, 3 foot 6 inches of strong string, a knitting needle to bore holes, a pencil and a ruler, and some crayons. Place these on some sheets of old newspaper. What you have to do, and there are 5 things here, all numbered 1 through 5. Number 1, using your ruler, draw lines from corner to corner of the cardboard. Number 2, bore holes close to the centre as shown, and in our picture we can see 2 holes that have been made through the cardboard. Number 3, draw coloured stripes on both sides of the cardboard. Number 4, thread the end of the string through one hole and back through the other hole. Number 5, the last of our things to do, tie the ends of the string together and pull the string until the whir is in the centre. This is your new toy. Have fun wearing it. An Indian headdress. You will enjoy making this and playing with it. The things that you will need to make this Indian headdress: a piece of corrugated cardboard about 3 feet long, some wide sellotape, some long feathers, scissors, coloured inks, and 2 paper clips. Place these on some sheets of old newspaper with the coloured inks on an old tray. What do you have to do to make an Indian headdress? Here you've got 5 instructions. Let's read through them. Number 1, colour your feathers and let them dry. Number 2, cut the corrugated cardboard 1.5 inches wide and about 3 feet long. Stick a feather in every 6th hole in the corrugated cardboard, and you can see on here that there are little tubes or holes in the cardboard all the way around, so every time you come to number 6 you stick a painted feather in. Number 4, set the cardboard flat on the table and put sellotape right along the back over the cardboard and the bottom of the feathers to hold the feathers in place. Number 5, hold the headdress once in the middle and then fasten the ends together with a paper clip. Place another paper clip about 10 inches from the fold. Now you can open it out and put it on, and you are a fine Indian chief. A wonderful diver. How are we going to make this? It says we'll enjoy making it, and it gives us a list of the things that we're going to need. So the first thing we need is a rubber tube from inside an old fountain pen, a large clear bottle, a cork to fit the bottleneck, a small piece of wire not too thin, and a medium-sized knitting needle. And we're going to place these, as we're learning, on some sheets of old newspaper. That's so that we don't make a mess. What do we have to do? It tells us 5 things that we can make, or 5 things that we have to do to make our wonderful diver. Number 1, cut the tube from the pen. You will now have 1 open and 1 closed end. Number 2, insert the needle in the open end, but be careful not to push it through the rubber. Number 3, wrap the wire tightly around the bottom, the open end of the tube 2 or 3 times, and then pull the needle out. Cut off any extra wire, and this will become our diver. Fill the bottle with water up to about an inch from the top. Put the diver in. If the top of the diver is more than 3/4 of an inch above the water, squeeze his head until a small bubble comes out at the bottom. Now, we're then going to put the cork on, and each time you press the cork in the bottle, the diver will sink to the bottom. When you loosen the cork, it will come to the top again. On these pages, 22 and 23, we're going to make a leather sucker. This is a toy that boys and girls used to make long ago. And it tells us the things we will need. A piece of strong leather, a thin knitting needle for boring the hole, that means making the hole, 3 feet of strong string of the same thickness as the needle, a pair of scissors, an old cup and a pencil. And you know what we're going to do next. We're going to place these on a newspaper. What you have to do now to make the leather sucker, there are 5 things that we're given in the little list. Number 1, we place that cup upside down on the leather and trace around it. That gives us a nice circle. We remove the cup and we cut out the circle of leather. Number 3, we bore a hole in the center with your needle. Number 4, we thread the string through the hole and tie a knot at one end so that it will not pull through the hole. Number 5, soak your sucker in water until it is quite soft. This is very clever. Now you can press your sucker tightly against a flat surface, a box for instance, and lift up the whole box by pulling the string. So the wet leather is what makes your sucker. Very, very clever. Making some bookends or doorstops. This will make a very useful present for adults. The things that you will need. Plenty of raffia or cord of an even thickness. 2 tins, either round or rectangular, such as syrup or cocoa tins. Clear varnish and a brush. Some sand. A pair of scissors and some red paint or lacquer. Place these on some sheets of old newspaper with the varnish and paint on an old tray. What you have to do, and it tells us 6 things that we have to do. Number 1, fill both tins with sand and put the lids on tightly. Number 2, paint the lids and the bottoms of the tins red. Plait raffia or cord in long strands. Varnish the tins and allow them to become slightly sticky. Wrap the plaited raffia or cord evenly round the sides of the tins and be careful, it says here, taking care to keep your fingers off the varnish. When you have covered the sides, tuck the ends well in. Varnish the plaits and allow them to dry. There, Mummy and Daddy will be pleased with either these bookends or doorsteps. A flower pot holder. This will look most attractive. And can you see the difference between the old, untreated flower pot and what the finished flower pot looks like? The things you will need: a small flower pot, a jar of Vaseline, wallpaper paste, some newspaper, paints, clear varnish, and some brushes. And we're going to place these on some sheets of old newspaper. What you have to do, and this is a big list. This list, boys and girls, is 9 things. Number 1, Grease the outside of the flower pot with Vaseline. Tear the newspaper into tiny pieces about the size of a postage stamp. Turn the pot upside down and stick the pieces of newspaper over the pot until it is well covered. Can you see the pot at the back and how they've started that? Number 5. Paste over this paper, then stick on another layer of paper and let it dry. Paste all over again and stick on more paper. Keep doing this until you have about 7 layers of paper on the pot. Let it dry well and then slide out the pot. Paint the flower pot holder and varnish it when the paint is dry. Now you have a very nice holder for Mummy to put her flower pot in. Oh, this looks good. Making a false face. This is a strong mask which should give you lots of fun. The things you will need: a cereal box, cotton wool, about 12 inches of elastic, glue and scissors, poster paints and a brush. Place these on some sheets of old newspaper. What you have to do: Number 1. Cut off the back and bottom of the box so that you have the top and 3 sides left. Paint the outside of the box. Pale pink would be a good colour for skin. Number 3. Cut holes for the eyes and the mouth. 4. Attach the elastic to the sides across the open back to hold the face on. Number 5. Glue cotton wool on the top and sides. This can be your hair. Number 6. Paint a nose and some lips. If you wish, you can now glue on cotton wool eyebrows and a moustache. Your friends will laugh when they see you in this strange disguise. Oh, this is useful. Look, if you've got a fireplace at home, this could be just what you need. It's called a useful hearth brush. Here is another acceptable little present. The things you will need: 2 feet of thick rope, about 1/2 inch in diameter, some coloured raffia, about 18 inches of strong string, clear varnish, and an old comb. Place these on some sheets of old newspaper, because we don't want to make a mess, do we? What you have to do, and it gives us 5 instructions. Number 1, double the rope. That means fold it over. Number 2, bind it tightly with string about 4 inches from the bottom. Use half your string for this, then cut it and tie a knot, tucking the knot neatly into the rope. Bind again about 3 inches from the loop, again tucking in the knot. Bind the raffia evenly round the rope and over and between the 2 pieces of string. Keep it flat and overlapping so that the rope does not show through it. Unwind the bottom 4 inches of rope and comb it out. This makes the bristles of your brush. Number 5, varnish your brush, except the bristles. That's a very, very good and useful gift for somebody who's got a fireplace, and with the brush they can sweep up the ash after the fire has gone cold. This looks nice. A necklace of paper beads. Ask Daddy if he has any scraps of wallpaper which you can have. Here is a way to use them. The things you're going to need are some brightly coloured wallpaper, a fine knitting needle, some wallpaper paste and a brush, about 30 inches of thin string, clear varnish, and a pair of scissors. Place all of these on some sheets of old newspaper. Now, what do we have to do? It tells us 5 things. Number 1, cut the paper into strips about 8 inches long and 1/2 inch wide. Paste the backs of the strips. Roll each strip firmly around the needle. Press firmly, then take it off the needle and let it dry. You'll need to make quite a lot for a necklace. Now varnish your beads. Thread them on the string and knot the ends of the string together, and you will have a necklace of paper beads, and you'll look nice wearing these. A miniature garden. Doesn't this look pretty? It says here, this will look lovely on the window ledge. Yes, it will. The things you will need: a bowl or a similar container, a broken plant pot, some fine soil, or better still, potting compost, small white stones, a mirror, and some rockery plants. Place these on some sheets of old newspaper. What do you have to do? Number 1, break the plant pot into small pieces. That's a difficult thing to say. Break the plant pot into small pieces and place these at the bottom of the bowl. Fill the bowl with fine soil or potting compost up to 1 inch from the top. Place the mirror on the soil. This makes a fine pond. Yes, it does. Look at that. Number 4, make a path with the small stones leading to and around the pond. Number 5, set in your rockery plants. Not too many, because these will spread as they grow. And now it says you have a miniature garden of your own. You must water it 2 or 3 times a week, just enough to keep the soil moist and make sure it gets some sunshine. And you've made a miniature garden. I think that's very beautiful. A pair of stilts. This way you can be 5 inches taller. The things you will need: 2 syrup tins, a nail for punching holes, 2 long pieces of string, some paint or lacquer, and a brush. Place these on some sheets of old newspaper. What you have to do. Number 1, punch a hole at each side of both tins near the bottom. If you wish, you can paint the tins and leave them to dry. Number 3, thread a piece of string through both holes of one tin and tie the ends together so that the knot is inside the tin. Do the same with the other tin. Number 4, the string should be long enough for you to hold it while standing up straight on the bottoms of the tins. Now you can try walking on your stilts and you will be taller. A colourful mobile. That's a lovely decoration. Let's see how we make this. The things you will need: a wire coat hanger, some strong cotton, some eggshell halves, old nail varnish or coloured lacquer, Christmas frost or glitter, a brush, and a darning needle. Place these on some sheets of old newspaper. And it tells us 4 things that we need to do so that we finish with this colourful mobile. Number 1, make a small hole in the top of each eggshell with the needle. Number 2, cut the cotton in different lengths. Then knot one end of each piece and thread through a shell so that the knot is on the inside. Lacquer the shells in different colours and sprinkle them with glitter while they are wet. Number 4, when they are dry, hang them from the coat hanger with the cotton. Now you can hang your mobile in a good draft and watch it move. Pattern printing with a potato. You're going to have fun. It says making potato prints. The things you are going to need: a medium-sized potato, a knife. Ask Mummy for one that is not too sharp. Some thick poster paint in a flat dish. Drawing paper or the back of old wallpaper. Place these on some sheets of old newspaper and make sure it's on a good flat surface. What you have to do. Number 1, wash and dry your potato. Number 2, cut it in half. On one half, draw an easy shape, a square, or perhaps a cross. Number 4, shade the drawing lightly with paint. Number 5, cut away the part not shaded so that the pattern shape stands higher than the rest. That's clever. Number 6, press the raised shape in the paint. Number 7, now press the potato carefully on the paper. You should get 2 or 3 copies of your shape before dipping it in the paint again. That's lovely. It says here, when you've had some practice, you can try all sorts of shapes to print and make lovely patterns. And on here I can see the blue cross, which is on the big sheet of paper. I can see a fish. I can see a swan, some holly leaves with red berries, and a star with a circle in it. Lots of lovely things. And all that with a potato. Oh, this looks good. Look at this. Invisible ink for secret messages. Here is another surprise for your friends. The things you will need: 1 lemon, an empty ink or other small bottle, a pen, a small bowl, and some writing paper. Place these on some sheets of old newspaper. What do we have to do? 4 things. Number 1, cut the lemon in half and squeeze the juice into the bowl. Number 2, pour the juice into your bottle. Number 3, using this juice as ink, write a message on the paper. Number 4, allow it to dry slowly by itself. Now, what happens when I used to do these as a little boy. When you have written a message on the paper, it will disappear until you put it near some heat. So you can see this little boy here. He's holding his message up to the lamp, and the heat from the lamp will make the message appear. And it says here, now you can astonish your friends by holding the paper close to the heat from a lamp, and your message will appear. So you can write in lemon, and then nobody can see it until they hold your secret message up to the lamp. Now let's try some clay modelling. There are many different kinds of clay for modelling, but here is one to make yourself. Things you will need: a large bowl or a basin, 2 cups of flour, a cup of salt, and a little water. Place these on an old tray and put the tray on some sheets of newspaper. And it gives us 5 things to do. Mix the flour and salt together in the bowl. Add water in small quantities and mix it well until it is firm enough for modelling. Be careful not to make it too wet. Now you may start modelling, and you can let your shapes harden if you wish. This clay that you've made with the flour and the salt can be coloured with dyes, inks, or cake colouring. If you're not using your clay, keep it in an airtight jar. You can make animal models and lots of other things. Once a boy made a model farmyard. Perhaps you could make one. On this page, I can see a number of things. I can see a rabbit. I can see a giraffe. I can see what might be a little pond or a summer garden swimming pool. And I can see a nice bowl. Look at this. A Christmas log. Things like this will make lovely Christmas presents. What do we need? A good thick log about 7 inches long, some white paint or lacquer and a brush, a sprig of holly and a packet of glitter, some drawing pins, a red candle and some green ribbon, a piece of thin white card and some glue, and some cotton wool. And we're going to place these, we are, on some sheets of old newspaper so that we can keep things clean and tidy in the house. What you have to do: number 1, Ask Daddy if he will bore a hole for the candle halfway through the log, making sure the log sits steadily with the hole at the top. Number 2, paint the holly leaves white and sprinkle them with glitter. Number 3, paint white streaks along the log and sprinkle them with glitter as well. Number 4, paint the heads of the drawing pins white and, guess what, sprinkle them with glitter. So we're using lots of glitter. Number 5, when the holly and the pins are dry, pin the holly to the log. Put the candle in the hole and, with your ribbon, tie a bow around the end of the log. Cut an oval shape from the white card and stick it to the bottom of the log. This will help the log to stand more steadily. Now, arrange some cotton wool as you see in the picture. And of course the cotton wool gives the idea of snow sitting around your Christmas log. That's very nice. So, still with the Christmas tree, a dainty fairy tree. This will look pretty in your window. We're going to need a few things. A branch with several small twigs on it, a small flower pot, coloured paint and a brush, some small fir cones, some pieces of cotton, and clay, putty or plasticine. Place these on some sheets of old newspaper. And then there are 4 things to do. Paint the fir cones in different colours. You can sprinkle those with glitter as well if you wish. Number 2, fill the flower pot with clay or putty. Ah, yes. Number 3, plant your tree in the clay. Number 4, hang the cones from the twigs with your cotton. And everyone will say how nice this looks. Yes, can you see that in your window? Can you imagine that once you've finished it? And then the very last one we've got in this beautiful book on things that we can make, a snowman on a lake. This should look pretty on the Christmas dinner table. The things you will need: an empty 1-pound jam jar, a potato to sit in the neck of the jar, paste or glue, cotton wool, Christmas frost or glitter, a mirror not too large, some black paper and a strip of material. Place these on some sheets of old newspaper. And it tells us 7 things that we need to do to make our snowman on a lake. Number 1, cover the potato with glue and then with cotton wool. This is the snowman's head. Cut off a piece of cotton wool big enough to go round the jam jar and tie a piece of cotton round the neck to keep it in place. Glue to the jar where the ends meet. Set the head on the body and make an extra collar of cotton wool. Tie the strip of material round the neck for a scarf. Cut small circles from the black paper for the snowman's eyes and buttons and stick them on. Also make him a mouth. Streak the mirror with glue and sprinkle frost on it. This is your frozen lake. Set the snowman on the lake. Well, I do declare that has been a very special book and lots of things that we've been able to learn about and to make. And you can see these inside our back covers. I can see the mobile that we made with eggs. I can see the snake from cotton reels, the brush for the hearth, the vase with the seashells. What else can you see? Can you see the plate and the potato paintings, the bookends or the doorstops, the painting to go on your wall? Yes, the clever faces made out of cereal boxes, the clay figures, the whip and the cotton top, the whirrer, the necklace. What was this? Oh yes, the leather suction, the miniature garden, the Indian feather hat, the yellow shoe, the Christmas tree with fir cones, the snowman on the lake. What's this? Christmas log, the diver that goes up and down when you press the cork in the top of the jar, the bottle, and the painted cover for a flower pot. Well, that has been a lovely read. The Ladybird book of things to make. That was made a long time ago. It's in series 633, and it was first printed, if we look at the beginning, first made in 1963 and then again in 1976. So this book is very old and full of beautiful things to make.